All right, red-white land destruction. If you haven't seen this before, this deck attacks from two really sweet angles. So first is that you'll notice we have all the sweepers. We have 4 Stars of Extinction, 4 Cleansing Nova, 2 Settle the Wreckage, and four Deafening Clarion to keep the board clear against aggressive decks. And then against control decks, we have Dawn of Hopes and Treasure Maps and Immortal Sun and Haphazard Bombardment, which this card is basically triple Stone Rain if you've never seen it before. You put counters on a bunch of their stuff, including their lands, and then start destroying them at random, which is just a grand old time. So we played this Saturday night. I think we went 4 or 5-0 in matches played. So let's jump in. Do you think this would be good in best of 1? Yeah, I think so. I think your mono sweeper deck's probably pretty good against mono red and red white. White red. Voltaic, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. I don't think Fall of the Thran solves problems that this deck has. So one of the mistakes a lot of Magic players make when they're inexperienced in building decks or editing decks is that you shouldn't just add cards to a deck list because they're synergistic with what your deck is doing. When you're making changes to a deck, you always want to be asking yourself the question, what problem does this deck have, and how is the change that I'm making correcting that problem? So Voltaic, you actually should be okay. At some point this month, they announced in November that they're changing how sublengths are counted. I'll actually have to ping, a couple other people have asked me about that. I need to ping my Twitch rep and find out when that's going to go live. Thanks, Anchor. I appreciate that. 3rd month, Covain. Thank you for the quarter of your support. Welcome back. Yeah, they're changing from consecutive to total months. In what environment would Boros aggro be better over mono red? I don't know, honestly. I haven't played enough mono red to know the answer to that question. Well, I kind of wanted to stop on my upkeep there, but c'est la vie. Your Twitch rep? No, every Twitch partner has a Twitch representative that they work with, or like if they have questions or stuff like that. It's one of the benefits you gain by becoming a Twitch partner. You have someone at Twitch that you can. God, this stupid stop is killing me. They really need a better way to just like leave this permanent if you want it on. No, this deck intentionally closes games in a slow and brutal manner. The closing game slowly is a feature, it's not a bug. They need to do one or the other. They either need to enable us to have a permanent stop, or they need to fix the server lag that makes it so it's possible to miss this as often as it gets missed. The stop's not working because there's server lag would be my guess. There's a delay between when I click to send the message to the server, hey, put a stop, and when it actually passes to my turn. So I could jam the Immortal Sun here. No, actually, that's a lie. I only have 3. The important thing to remember about these treasures, while I could use them for additional mana, these are cards that I'm going to draw eventually with this Treasure Cove. So anytime you're spending your treasures for mana and you have a Treasure Cove in play, you have to be asking yourself the question, is gaining this tempo advantage from getting more mana sooner worth being down a potential card draw in the future? Yeah, there are actually a number of things that MTGO does well that I hope they integrate into Magic Arena at some point. While Magic Online leaves a lot to be desired in a lot of ways, it definitely does. It's not worse than Arena in every way possible. It's worse than Arena in a lot of ways, but there are a small number of things that Magic Online does very well that Arena currently still struggles with. Morning, Jackal Girl. No, I actually greatly prefer Magic Arena's timer system to Magic Online, but that's subjective. So the difference between the timer systems is not a purely better worse comparison, so much as it is a personal preference. A good example of a feature that Magic Online has that's just objectively should exist because it's great in Arena is when a trigger pops up on Magic Online, you can right click on it and hit always yield to it, so you never have to click yes, resolve this trigger. You can also do things like save targets for your triggers that have targets and like say always yes or always no to a given trigger. That being said, my opponent hasn't done anything this game, so like the fact that we missed a bunch of land drops here just like really hasn't mattered. We're supposed to be up on the front page in 15 minutes, whatever that means. I don't actually know if it's gonna do anything. Thanks, the Beeve. I appreciate the birthday bits. Good morning. I want Arena to not punish combo/control through the timer system. If you think the current Magic Arena system punishes control decks, you've never played Magic Online. Magic Online has a far more punishing clock system for control than Arena ever will be. Now, certain combo decks that take a lot of time in the same turn, those are punished on Arena in comparison to Magic Online. I agree with that. But control decks are actually much better under the Arena clock system, in my opinion. Because so long as you're playing at a reasonable pace, you don't get punished for playing longer games. I'm actually going to activate. Am I going to activate this? No. I'll just let this flip over so that way we could do this. One of the things to remember about the Thaumatic Compass is that when it transforms into the spires, it does not untap itself. Why am I on the front page? When Twitch partners get large enough, they get added to a list of folks that can apply to be on the front page on a rotation. Increases their viewers by 50%. Yeah, that sounds about right. Pick up an extra 500 to 1,000 people. They did not attack with the Rekindling Phoenix. They know about both the Settle the Wreckage and the Seal Away here. All right, so I'm gonna lead on the Crucible of Worlds here. Crucible of Worlds. The real gift behind Crucible of Worlds is the wonderful animation. It's quite pretty. I'm not jamming the Immortal Sun because they know about the Immortal Sun, and I think there's a good chance that they have a counterspell. Since they let the Crucible of Worlds resolve here, we're going to be scrying super aggressively to try and find our land that destroys a land, so we can start stone raining them every turn. Because I know that's what Twitch chat wants, is to stone rain people a bunch. What's my record for highest viewer count? Just shy of 3,000 after a large host, I believe. That's true. Stone raining people is the reason we're playing this deck. I'd also keep a Haphazard Bombardment. So I'm looking for a Bombardment or a... This is going to get counterspelled. I think anything that's going to bait a counterspell is worth keeping here probably. So let's do that. Yeah, the fact that they're Grixis and not... The fact that they're Grixis and not Jeskai is really good for us here. For newer Magic players who aren't familiar, stone raining the opponent refers to just destroying the land, because one of the OG land destruction spells is called Stone Rain. Yeah, I probably should have left Treasure Cove untapped. I assume the auto tapper logic is something that's going to change drastically over the course of the next year or so, as they try and get it to a great point. All right, let's grab land out of my deck. Get my scry on. How many basics do we have left? We should be almost out of basic at this point. There's 3. So again, looking for a Haphazard Bombardment or a land that destroys land. The red memorial, whatever it's called. Get all of our treasures, chat. Hey, there's a bombardment. So this card comes into, if this resolves, we'll get to pick 4 cards on the opposing side of the battlefield, and then one of them gets destroyed at random at the end of each of our turns. So we'll just pick 4 of their lands. So if this resolves, it does just triple Stone Rain them. And they could have read this and not realized what our game plan is here, which I'm guessing is what's happened now. So maybe they didn't realize we were going to be able to target their lands. And there's a Memorial to War. So this destroys not just non-basics, but any land. So we are going to destroy a land every turn for the rest of the game now. And this is going to destroy a land at the end of their turn. So they're probably locked out at this point. Boop. No, honestly, I'm more surprised more people don't have Planeswalker borders for their frame that stream. Seems like a pretty easy thing to do. Niv miss it. Okay, that could get us. Hey, CJNJ, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So what I'm gonna do here is during my upkeep, I'm going to destroy one of their lands. And the reason why I'm doing this during my upkeep is so that way my opponent won't be able to have 3 mana during my main phase, so I can Cleansing Nova and kill their creatures through this Sinister Sabotage. So if they have a negate or a dispel, if they have a negate or a Disdainful Stroke here, I can get into trouble. But otherwise, this is pretty reasonable for us. Want to make sure I leave my Spires untapped here. No, I had my graphics designer create the border that I have. All right, so do I want to... I could burn some treasures here and just kill this as well. Honestly, that's probably worth it. Nah, it's not. I'm a liar. Let's just pass. The point of doing it during the upkeep is you can float mana, and floating mana moves with you through phases. Or sorry, doesn't move with you through phases. All right, so there goes another land. Slow and steady. If they have a second Niv here, we could be in trouble because I don't currently have a way to get through that. Eldest Reborn is kind of a second Niv. We did get Azcanta this time. They've had enough. All right, so post board in the control matchup, obviously our sweepers are a little bit worse here. So I'm gonna board out a lot of those, and we bring in some more, a little bit of things that can provide pressure, and then some things that can targeted kill Niv Mizzet, because he's a little annoying. I also put a second Crucible in the sideboard, so that way we can have that as well to be useful. Fountain of Renewal is not fantastic. This is for aggressive decks. Happy birthday. You helped me through some rough times. I moved to another part of the country and found out it's hard to find new friends as a 27-year-old. What's going on, sassy dog? Welcome, and thank you for the birthday wishes. People are overrated anyways. New Domri's good. That's exciting. The other Planeswalkers have been kind of mess so far. Dovin okay, but Kaya's not fantastic. So, in case you were unaware, we had Spires of Orazca in play, so my opponent's Phoenix was not going to be getting through. Listen, anyone who's met people will probably agree with me that they're the worst on average. Thanks, Philly. So that's a real good one. I'm glad we have Banefire here. I'm using Banefire on the Thief of Sanity rather than Fight with Fire because Fight with Fire is a little bit more efficient answer to something like Niv. So I think at this point there's really not a value to playing the second Dawn of Hope, so I'm just gonna go ahead and activate this one and start poking them with my lifelinking 1/1 to draw extra cards. It would be kind of disappointing if Domri wasn't good in like a Dino style deck, right? This is one of our sources of card advantage in our welcome to Magic. Yeah, we got prizes. All right, let's try again, shall we? So maybe this wasn't the best deck to have for our front page deck. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of. It's kind of hard to explain why we're winning games we're winning with this deck. I have an irresistible urge to watch your. Oh, you know exactly why, Cube April. Good morning. Anybody who's read your Twitter feed knows why you're watching at the moment. Our win condition is removing the opponent's will to continue playing Magic. We're supposed to be up on the front page starting in 5 minutes. For 2 hours. We're gonna be up on the front page for 2 hours every Monday for the rest of the month. I solemnly swear I'm up to no good. What's going on, Dabir? Thanks for the 11 months. Welcome back. Okay, sweet. This is actually a matchup I'm interested in seeing play out here for sure. Want to see how we line up against an aggressive deck. I gotta imagine we have like okay tools here because we have so many sweeper effects, but I could, on the flip side of that is I could see something like Experimental Frenzy giving us kind of a hard time. In what way is it good, Nivik? I had that card in some of my early builds of the deck and I wrote it off after playing a few leagues with it. I actually had that card in really early builds of the deck, Hippity, and just like it was kind of underwhelming for me. Yeah, just getting like Wizard Lightning and Shocked and Lightning Struck out of the game is something that could definitely happen to us. So we'd really like to hit a Deafening Clarion here. I get 3 looks at that, right? I get a Scry at my end of turn, and then I get a Scry during my upkeep, and then I get a draw step. Congrats, Covern. What were you playing? All right, survey says. All right. Seal away is like not the worst we could have drawn there. They haven't announced yet, Demir Spy. It hasn't happened yet. They said it was supposed to happen in January. That's interesting. So they're a little bit of a bigger red deck then. I am Karn. Yes, yes you are, Karn. Yes you are. You are Karn. Who's a good little Karn? Read. The old soul reads. Just looking for a way to take this Steam Kit off the table. I think I'm just gonna go map plus compass here. Because map plus compass, I don't have 7 lands yet, but next turn I'll have 7 lands, right? Because I can activate the compass to go fetch the 7th land up, which will transform it into the spires, so we can start locking down one of their creatures. I actually think the economy that Arena has at the moment is actually very reasonable, especially in relation to the economies of other games. I think the worst part about the Arena economy is that it's confusing and it's not straightforward to figure out what you're getting for your money. Once you understand what you're getting for your money, it's a very reasonable exchange, but they do a bad job of explaining to the consumer what they're getting. We're probably dead here. They have Runaway Steamkin going at this point. Agedom, thanks for the Twitch Prime support. Welcome, welcome. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. Yes, the person who asked, what are you missing about why I didn't seal away the Steamkin? You're missing the rules text on seal away. So here's a vocab lesson free of charge. Don't say the word objectively and then ask someone for their opinion on something, because by definition, my opinion is subjective. So we're going to 1 here. So I need one of our 4 cleansing novas at this point, and even then, even if we hit the cleansing nova, we might be dead here. What's my opinion on the definition of literally? It's figuratively the worst word in the English language. All right, we got 2 more shots at a cleansing nova to stay alive. All right, I mean, that technically lets us stay alive, right? Because I've got 7 over here. I gotta fade some draws here, but we're in this game. Boom goes the dynamite. I forgot. Yeah, that takes out Karn too. I forgot we had that in our deck. So if we could fade a draw step or 2 here. So I had read this book before and I didn't want to spoil the ending, but that's how that book ends every time. It's really disappointing. Just classic, are we doing it? Are we doing it? Nope, we're dead. Got it. Got it. Don't always catch the live ones, but happy to be back. Kessel Runner, thanks for the 8-month 3 sub. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. It's the worst ending ever. I agree. All right, so we're going to bring in Lyra. We're going to bring in the extra seal away. I think there's a chance this might be a History of Benalia matchup just because the blockers are good. Wonder if Fight with Fire is okay too. Immortal Sun's a little bit slow. I'm going to trim a Dawn of Hope. It's a little bit clunky. I don't want too many win conditions too early gumming up my hand. I need a way to actually win the game eventually, so like 2 Dawns plus 2 Lyras seems reasonable as ways to actually close the game out. Some compasses and some bombardments could be the trim. Fight with Fire might be reasonable to keep in. It's like a way to keep us alive and close the game out. So maybe I'll like trim a compass and like 2 bombardments. That doesn't seem unreasonable. I'm actually gonna get rid of the settles. I'm gonna trim the settles actually, because giving them extra lands to Banefire me sounds miserable. It's like a Monday morning hippity. I can't imagine being on the front page is going to do too much more than, like, maybe double up what we have. We did play the blue-black card and test deck already. It'll be up on my YouTube channel later. Converted mana cost, 21, 24, just 20, 26 against the mono red deck. Like, these cards are good, right? I don't know about the, like, this is like a double mulligan basically until we're super late in the game. This hand's much better. Much better. That's fair. That's fair. It is 5 o'clock somewhere. Pons is only on the no-fly list in the format that hates fun. That's true, Ozar. The bulk of my audience is people who have jobs that let them watch Twitch. That's very fair. This is game 2. We almost stabilized game 1 and then ended up coming up a little bit short. So pretty easy Clarion here. Just like take my 2 for 1 and don't get greedy, especially while they're stumbling on lands. I think next turn I think this turn we just hold up the seal away play. We're only a couple lands off of Memorial to Warring them, so if they keep stumbling here, we're gonna induce a further stumble from them. There's a 4 mana, it just says destroy all the things. Reason I like this one is because I can use a radio, know exactly what's going on each turn and what his thoughts are. I can't really watch Mike listen and chat. Thanks, Striderstone. I do my best at least. So we rip the Cleansing Nova here, which means that we are going to get to clean up the board. The fact that they're continuing to respect Seal Away is actually really good for us. While it was awkward that they were respecting Seal Away last game, which grabs a tapped creature, this game, the fact that we don't have it is actually giving us room to breathe. And this is a really good example of, while it feels good to play around things sometimes, especially when they have it, if they don't have it, you're actually putting yourself further behind. Hey, Colin Bust, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for supporting my content here. This compass is gonna flip here soon. Let's just take 4. So this lets me take 4 or let them draw 3 cards. I'd much prefer they don't draw 3 cards. Yeah, generally speaking, I don't look at spoilers midstream. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna play treasure map out. And then I think we're gonna flip the compass, then probably start stone raiding them. Demox with the sub giftaroonies. Thank you very much for the support. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Risk factor is really bad for us. We're much worse against the risk factor version of red than we are against the experimental frenzy version of red, because against experimental frenzy we can destroy their lands. Against risk factor, they just get to burn us out here. Thank you, Demox. I appreciate it. So Spires here, able to untap their creature. I didn't play out the other treasure map because I thought I might Memorial toward them, but obviously now that I had to Spires, that changes things a little bit. White, white, black, black, destroy all creatures. Okay, so it's a very cost restrictive one. Well, thank you, Colin. I do my best to educate. This is, So we're going to use Field of Ruin here to activate the treasure map, because this can only destroy non-basics, and since they have all basic mountains, this is basically just a colorless land here. So might as well get that one used. Yeah, the narrowness is in which decks can play it, not in which, Jekyll Girl phrased it correctly. I agree with that assessment. I'm gonna get the other treasure map going here. It might be right to start getting aggressive with my Memorials of War, but like putting them down to 3 lands versus 4 like really isn't that big of a deal. So we know their last card is good here because they didn't jumpstart the risk factor last turn. Kinda getting punished for not destroying their land. Something clever. Don't read this. Something clever. What's going on, Birds? I appreciate the 9-month resub. Welcome back. The stupid stop on this application is so tilting. The Fountain of Renewal, I guess, is a good draw. I guess it's fine. I think we're gonna go ahead and Memorial them off of the 4th land here since they have a burden play. Want to make sure I don't tap my Spires here. So I'll get to Spires this and then flip a treasure map. And then honestly, I might use one of my treasure tokens to scry with this other one to get the other one flipped over here. Just put a stop on my upkeep here right away now so I don't forget again later. Fountain of Renewal is going to let us gain 1 health each turn, so that can eventually get us out of the risk factor range. I wonder... There's a chance this deck honestly wants more Fountains of Renewal in it. Just like have the full 4 in the 75 for a matchup like this. We'll see how the rest of this plays out, though. Hey, Bubbaloo, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for supporting my content here. So I'm just going to go to 4 rather than let them draw a bunch of cards. Let's scry. Arc doesn't do a whole lot. I'm going to go ahead and scry again with this. It costs me a treasure, but not only does it give me a scry, but it gets another counter on here. I think Star of Extinction is worth taking here. I am going to be dead to a Lightning Strike next turn, is worth noting. So, if they rip Lightning Strike off the top here again, we're going to be dead. So we're manually tapping here because I don't want my Spires to get tapped. So this will destroy their mountain and bolt their creatures, but the Rekindling Phoenix is going to... The Rekindling Phoenix is going to come back into play. If we find a Haphazard Bombardment, we could potentially start killing all of their lands. But every turn that they're not pressuring our life total here, the Fountain of Renewal is going to... Thank you, wife, for the birthday bits. No, I have Spires of Orazca here, which makes the Rekindling Phoenix not hit me. The fact that they didn't attack is bad, because it actually gives me a scry that I otherwise wouldn't have had the mana to. Do I keep this? I'm actually going to keep the Thaumatic Compass here, and the reason for this is it insulates me in case they draw a haste creature. And now I'm no longer dead to Lightning Strike. I'm dead to Risk Factor, but I'm actually going to be able to kill another one of their lands here, which means they can't cast Risk Factor unless they have land plus Risk Factor. So we're slowly cutting my opponent's outs off the table here. I already played a land for the turn, so there's really not a reason to draw extra cards just yet with the Treasure Coves. I guess I could draw exactly my second Fountain of Renewal. Okay, sweet. Sweet, and the Fountain of Renewal just, like, thoroughly stabilizing us there against any burn they might have coming in. Do I bring and Invoke the Divine as just a gain 4? There's a chance that they have Experimental Frenzy in their deck too. I might want this as just a way to gain 4. Do I want history? History's really slow. Oh yeah, they had Karn as well, right? Yeah, I'm gonna trim the 4th bombardment. I like that. Make that small swap, but it could matter. Hey, 77. Thanks for doling out the sub gifties. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. This is Aliandrazi's red-white land destruction deck. So, I think this is actually a mulligan. While we have lands and castable spells, this is a matchup that's very much about impacting the board quickly and accessibly, and we don't have Sealaways or Deafening Clarions, and our lands deal a bunch of damage to us, so I think this is supposed to be a do-over. This hand needs some lands in it, but we're on the draw and we have a scry, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep this and give it a shot. This hand has good spells, so it only needs to draw lands to be functional in a perfect world. Magic is not meant to be played at best of 1. I've been kind of inclined to agree with you. All right, we'll take one more shot, but if we miss again, we'll just we'll try another match. Time to prick and die. Yep. Yeah, that one makes a token every turn. Who's the weasel? Do. Congrats on the Tempo Storm announcement. Thank you, a Priest of Gix, and thank you very much for the very generous tier 3 sub. Welcome back. Remember to let me know via DM if there's a deck already in my deck queue that you'd like to bump up, or if you'd like to submit something new for your tier 3 sub, just use the form on the site. What does the competitive scene need to change in order to prevent concessions to catch a plane? It needs to offer enough money that missing your flight and possibly being late for work the next morning is like worth less than like the chance of winning. What ranked level am I? So Magic Arena's rank system is currently in testing, so it's only best of 1. And I don't really enjoy playing best of 1 Magic, so I don't play the ranked queue. Not really, Derelict. I mean, Magic, even like my own numbers here, like Magic Arena's just like changed the entire dynamic for what Magic can do on Twitch and in the esports side. Why is it safe to say I need 4 fountains in the side? Articulate your thoughts. Explain yourself. Say you need this because I'm not convinced that I do. Yeah, the Grand Prix finals yesterday, they had someone concede and then not play the finals, basically. All right, Evolving Wilds is actually a good draw here because while the Evolving Wilds is going to put a land into play tapped, the Clifftop Retreat will come into play untapped next turn. He conceded because he had to catch this plane. GP KCI. He conceded so that way KCI wouldn't get banned. That's the real truth they're not telling you. WotC only bans modern decks that win tournaments, so they conceded so they wouldn't ban KCI. They're all out to protect KCI, chat. Do I ever play live events? Not too often anymore. I played a couple of opens last year, but traveling to play in live tournaments is just really expensive and the prizes aren't that significant. So it's not something I do terribly often anymore. Well, we're not doing a whole lot, but my opponent has also just like played a Grizzly Cat and isn't doing a whole bunch either. This is pretty easy, just Clarion. Kill their dorks, play a Thaumatic Compass, just like keep hitting our land drops. Our ban announcements a scheduled thing once an expansion? Yeah, they happen once an expansion. So they'll update Magic's ban and restricted list again. I'm gonna put it. Those are just vampires. So I'm just gonna take a hit for this turn, and then next turn we'll play Star of Extinction and kill a land and deal damage to all the creatures. Why play Compass over Map that turn? So I played Compass over the Map that turn because it sets up this turn here, which is this turn I get to use all 6 of my mana to get 2 lands out of my deck. So we're down to 8 here, but we're looking to stabilize pretty well when we cast the Star of Extinction next turn. I'm just playing regular best of 3 because the regular best of 3 has MMR based matchmaking. Dr. Mantis, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome. I'd like to blow up that swamp and deal damage to all of your stuff. I love the animation on this card. Some of the mythics in this game are really well done. It'd be really sweet if for big game impact mythics like that, if like the board was permanently cracked for the rest of the game. And now, like, they don't have a board, and I've got these bombardments. All right, they've got that. That's fine. My spires keep that locked down just fine. So bombardment here is going to target 4 of my opponent's lands, and now 1's going to get blown up at the end of every turn. Let's put a treasure map out. Thanks, Kenda. And we've got these two spires down here say I can make a creature no longer be attacking me. So this creature is basically just not going to do anything. They are not legendary. So some of the flip cards are legendary in the backside, but not all of them. I wonder if they're gonna conclave the bombardment to stop me from killing their lands. Little do they know we have more. Our win condition is Dawn of Hope to make 1/1 creatures eventually. Generally, like, with this deck, winning is something you do eventually after you've, like, made your opponent incredibly sad. Sadness is the primary win condition. So you'll notice I'm not even targeting their creature with my bombardments because I don't really care about their creature. Their creatures are locked out by my spires. I just want to take away all of their lands so they can't cast more spells eventually. I have no idea, Jesse K. And when I talk about valuing your time, the thing that you ultimately need to take away from my value your time speech is that you should ultimately be playing, you can't target enchantments with the bombardment. Red cards can't kill enchantment spread. Jeez, Vorthos. Don't you know standard staple Haphazard Bombardment? I think we're just like looking for more bombardments or a Crucible of Worlds at this point. Is Crucible of Worlds legal and standard? It is in fact legal and standard. So we'll destroy 2 of their lands at the end of every turn now. A lot of players playing Amulet Titan were playing Lotus Bloom. That's something we've done on stream before. I wasn't that impressed with it when we did it on stream, but I'm also like not an Amulet Titan expert. Blow that one up. Blow that one up. The fact that this card kills basics is so obnoxious too. Oh no, they gained 2 more life. Yeah, the roulette animation really rubs it in. Get my scry on. Looking for a Crucible of Worlds so we can lock them out of the game. And now at the end of our turn, the bombardments are going to kill 2 more of their lands, and then Memorial of War is going to kill the last one. Leaving their creature in play instead of killing it gives the opponent that glimmer of hope. You can't take all of their hope away from them, chat. That's just cruel. Don't be mean. All right, fine. I guess I'll use my mana this turn. So I'm gonna put a stop on my end step here, so that way after these bombardments resolve, I can kill their last land. So before we pass to them, we'll activate Memorial to War here and destroy their swamp. Boo! Ah, the land system. Such a wonderful mechanic. Technically, the scoreboard is 27-8 right now. This deck is a fantastic example of the health total in a game of Magic the Gathering is not a scoreboard. Because it's 8-27 right now, but we kind of know who's actually ahead at the moment. The real scoreboard is 0 lands, right? That's definitely a good way to look at it too. Boo. Yeah, goalie, you would love this deck in Standard. This is, the win condition is the Dawn of Hopes pumping out these dorks. That then also lets you draw more cards if you want. This, you could probably argue that this deck makes people quit Magic, but it's fun, right? I don't really know if we want to change anything. Our main deck is kind of well set up against, aggressive decks because we, like, have these Clarions and these Settles and these Novas. Might actually just trim the Settles and bring in a couple of blockers is probably fine. Am I planning on adding this deck to my website? I don't think so, unless it's still good after the next set. So the standard decks on my website are going to require a lot of upkeep because standard rotates, right? Or standard changes as new sets get added. So I don't think I'm going to put more work into the current standard format for decks on my website when the new set's going to be releasing in like 9 days. What's going on, Dawn Breakable? Welcome to a live one. Happy Monday. I mean, you could argue that this deck isn't worse than Turbo Fog because this deck, it's arguably a little bit more clear when the game's actually over, right? Dorian Costly, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. So this has life link. This gets bigger when they gain life. The fact that they're putting this to a 4/4 this turn is actually a pretty big deal because it means my Deafening Clarion no longer kills this. I think I'm actually supposed to Clarion just to kill their 2/2 here because the 2/2 is gaining them life and making this bigger every turn, and I need to make sure I survive to get to this Cleansing Nova on 5. If I want to be able to play 2 to 3 standard meta decks, how much do I need to put into Arena for that to be possible? Probably somewhere in like the 150 range. All right, I'm just gonna clean their board again. They keep their 4/4, but the 2/2s not only hammer my health total, but they make the 4/4 bigger every turn. The other thing that's good to know too is if you put in enough to get one meta deck on Arena, the other decks kind of fall into line quickly behind them because you can earn in-game rewards easier once you have one tiered deck. Yeah, grinding becomes much easier once you have your first tiered deck. And it's less tedious, right? Because you're like playing actual meaningful games. Alright, so they're down to one card in hand. I've got the Fountain of Renewal buffering our health total here. So even though they were a little bit aggressive to start, we should be more than fine here. The problem is that regardless of where the MMR ends up at, there's still going to be times where you get queued into random nonsense. It's the same as playing in the events. Even when we play in the events, like, there's random nonsense. What are the opponents we played before this today? We just played against stock mono red, and then the match before that, we played against Grixis control. Hey, Nazer, thanks for the birthday wishes. Hope you had a good weekend. Is Cleansing Nova overpowered? Nah, I don't think so. There's actually a lot of creatures in the game right now that have counterplay against Cleansing Nova. They're like things like Adanto Vanguard or things that create tokens or stuff like that afterwards. Now, I think I'd rather trade the Sweeper 1-for-1 rather than deploy the Lyra there, because playing the Lyra out means I'm then less incentivized to play a Sweeper at a future rate. Man, these cast 20 creatures and cast 40 creatures probably not getting completed anytime soon. While we're rocking this one. We thought about running a copy or two of Karn. What problem does this deck have that you're solving by adding Karn to it? Would be my question to you. That's true. We'll definitely complete the creature quest later today. What do we got? We got Temur Lands. The Temur Lands deck actually has a lot of creatures in it. It's got a bunch of explorers. That's true. Lyra would have finished the quest. Wasn't thinking about the arena gold EV. When you load up Arena, you don't get the option for a traditional play. In the upper right-hand corner of your screen, there's a little slider that you can tick over. Let's see, it needs some lands, but if it hits them, it's going to be pretty well off. Third 7-drop. Nothing quite says Magic the Gathering like hoping to draw a third land and drawing a 7-mana spell. Infinite Dinos is a infinite Polyraptor combo. If they have an Explorer creature here, this Wild Growth Walker could run away with the game. Doesn't look like it. Land, please. Perfect. I'm actually just going to 1-for-1 the Clarion with the Wild Growth Walker here, because if this gets bigger than 3, we'll have a hard time killing it. The fact that we hit the third land here is absurdly good for us, because Thaumatic Compass can activate every single turn to be able to get us more lands out of the deck. So now Thaumatic Compass basically guarantees that we hit every land drop between now and the end of the game. And it looks like our opponent's playing green-black mid-range, which means these Star of Extinctions are going to be excellent if we can curve out to them. Thanks for the sub-gift, Goalie. I appreciate the support. Welcome, Fake-Based. Yep. I think 4-mana Wraths that are very restrictive in mana cost are a great design space. This game's actually kind of highlighting one of the powerful advantages a deck like this has, which is that my opponent's deck, like my opponent's hand likely has a lot of removal spells in it. I'm trying to do my actual job so I can't hang out, but happy birthday's going on, Bob. And the fact that our deck just like doesn't play creatures makes a lot of their removal spells or other tools that they have access to much worse. So my opponent's been missing land drops here, so obviously the thing they want to see is destroy their land. Pew pew! I think cutting Star of Extinction is very wrong. Star of Extinction is a sweeper that not only is our answer to Planeswalkers, but it also helps forward our game plan of like taking all their lands away. I'm not playing the Bombardment yet because the Bombardment targets 4 things. So if I play it while they only have 3 lands, then it'll only get to kill 2 lands instead of 3. So I'd like to wait. Yeah, only 2 lands. Alright, let's jam the Bombardment. This might be a concession Bombardment, honestly. Blast. Don't ask questions like why are they still playing? If they concede, we have to stop blowing up their lands, chat. Undo you. Got him. There's always that long pause when Bombardment goes on the stack, like wait, what does this do? Alright, I'm gonna cut the Sealaways because they tend to have a lot of enchantment removal. And bring in the extra Crucible and a couple of Fight with Fires. What kind of sideboard cards can they have that are going to be well good against us? Things like they can have a lot of artifact and enchantment removal, I guess. The guy. Thank you for the 3-month resub. I appreciate you shipping your Twitch Prime back this way again this month. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're one of the many people in the world who has Amazon Prime, like the guy there, if you link your Amazon account to your Twitch account, you get Twitch Prime included with that for free, and you can use a free sub every single month to a channel of your choice here on Twitch. If I wanted to get back into digital Magic, does the quality of Arena outweigh the ability to cash out of Moto? In my opinion, it does. In general, I am a huge fan of Arena. If you're someone who likes not only Magic, but video games, Arena is a Magic video game. It's not just like Magic on the computer. See, I'd like need some lands, but we're on the draw and I've got 2 Clarions. When does the new set come to Arena? January 17th. January 17th. Cream of Extreme, thanks for the 8-month resub. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Yeah, we might need to kick Arena in the throat here. Yeah, we've been going for about 2.5 hours. That sounds about right. Sounds about wrong. Sounds about wrong. Wow, they don't have an Explore creature again. That's super fortunate for us. I think MTGA will ever get single player mode. That's why I think Hearthstone is more of a video game. Do you know how many video games these days don't include a single player mode? To say that a single player mode is what classifies something as a video game is just like patently nonsense. Hey, Spep, we had a couple of subs in there. Cream of Extreme, and then Spep was watching YouTube and then heard you'd be on the front page. I had to come check it out. What's going on? Thank you for the 13 months. Welcome back. Endo Crisis with the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. And Gingerbread Man re-upping for the 3rd month in a row. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Happy birthday. Put these towards dealer choice. Thank you, Full Metal. 1 Carnage Terrain. All right, so Treasure Map's probably just gonna die to the Vivian here, but the fact that Vivian will be down ticking on the Treasure Map rather than ticking up and getting another creature, I think is a win for us. I am currently standing. I have a standing desk that goes up and down. All right, so if I hit my 7th land on time here, we could be okay. Perfect. So let's play this. Let's play Bombardment and target this, 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 and this. End step Bombardment's gonna kill one of these. And the next turn we'll shock in the Sacred Foundry and then kill a land and kill their board.
No one knows the wilds like I do.
I could target Vivian there, but Star of Extinction is gonna kill the Vivian, chat. Star kills Planeswalkers too. So this is not quite as good as if they played the other Carnage Tyrant. They're gonna get to Brontodon my Bombardment here. Hey, Just Up, thanks for the 4-month resub. I appreciate the 3rd of a year. Welcome back. So shock this in. So you want to make sure you kill the land without the counters on them here, because if I draw another Bombardment, the new Bombardment counts the counters that the old ones had as well.
You'll have to do better than that.
So I'm just going to go ahead and 1-for-1 this star with this Carnage Tyrant. Just like get this out of here. So they have Find Finality here to pick their Carnage Tyrants back up if they'd like. Probably, yeah, just double Dino. Wild Growth Walker's a little annoying. Hey, Ben Cook, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna keep the Cleansing Nova. I can actually do this and then Memorial Toward them to keep them from casting a Carnage Tyrant next turn potentially, unless they draw a land. And then next turn I can Memorial Toward them again. They hit the land. So I'm up to 10. Do I Nova here? Admiral Vortex coming in hot with the big sub gifties. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. So Compass is gonna flip here. Welcome to the Hoaglandia draft, folks. Enjoy your shovels. Yeah, I'm dead to double explore if I don't sweep the board. So the Spire flips over. Unfortunately, Carnage Tyrant is hexproof, so I'm not going to be able to Spires that. So I need to treasure map into something useful. I get a bunch of draws here, though, because I get a Scry, I get a Draw Step, I get a draw with the Treasure Cove, and I get a draw with the Fountain, potentially. Clarion, my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are gone. Do 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 do. Get him. Never didn't have it. Ha! Vivian Reed, rude. Rude. All right, so we really need our third Star of Extinction here, huh?
Meet my newest friend.
Really need a third Star of Extinction. Third star would clean up the Memorial and the Vivian. All right, there's an Arc. I guess I can use the Memorial to kill this. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to use the Memorial to kill this, so that way they don't pick the Carnage Tyrant back up. Yeah, I need to restart Arena here really quick. I'm gonna do a quick 30-second ad break here in Kick Arena. Every couple hours it gets real distorted like that. It's annoying. Hey, Brandy Savage, thank you for the 3-month resub. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Yeah, arena's fine to re-kick mid game. Just gotta take a second to do it. It'll join right back up. Whoop. The sponsors love the audio distortion. It's their favorite.
The wild wasn't meant.
Look at that. Didn't miss a beat. I guess if I would have played the Arc of whatever out here, I could have sacked the Fountain. Hey, Zach, thanks. Happy Monday. Hope you had a good weekend.
The wilds are my shield.
We had a couple more turns to draw in 2 to 3 here. Don't really care about the Jade Light Ranger because I have the Spires of Orazca here to keep that locked down. Barathodon doesn't really matter. I guess it's just like another beater, right? It's like better than a brick for them. We've killed a lot of lands today, Zach. That's true. What am I killing Carnage Tyrant with? Like, the only thing I'd be able to target it with Spires, I think that's too narrow. We have a ton of sweepers. This deck is literally like sweeper dot deck. So I think I actually just take this hit for 4 here, because if I take this hit for 4, I can scry plus draw a card with the Arc, and it's pretty important that I find my... I need to find a way to deal with this. So I need a Star of Extinction or a copy of... I guess my what's it called? The 6-mana artifact isn't good enough here because they have the Barathodon. Oh, Fight with Fireworks too. That's true. I forgot I boarded that in. Well, Cleansing Nova takes the board off, but it doesn't beat Vivian. Well, Settle the Wreckage technically this gives indestructible, right? If I pop Nova, I can still if I pop Fountain, I can still cast my 7-mana spell. Yeah, exactly. I think I just go ahead and use the Cleansing Nova here. Yeah, because Nova's just not going to have a text box once they ult the Vivian, right?
Okay,
This game's about to get real weird. I have Settle the Wreckage here to deal with these creatures, and I have the Spires to keep one from hitting me. I should have done this during my upkeep. Small mistake. Star of Extinction. That one is not good enough at this point. I mean, we can technically beat the Vivian ult here. Beast Jake. And like, if we find a bombardment, we can potentially kill all of their lands. Look at this, they're attacking around Settle too, but the Spires just beats attacking around Settle, right? So like, they have to attack into the Settle. So like, they need 2 more creatures before they can even start attacking us. So we're in a pretty good spot here. We just need to kill all of their lands, so that way they can't cast any more creatures that'll be indestructible. Hey, Feathers, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks to the Court of Eurosport. Or we could just draw another Fight with Fire. If we draw another Fight with Fire, we could just like kick it upstairs twice here. And I get to destroy a land every single turn now for the rest of the game because I have Memorial to War and Crucible. Sure. I mean, are they going to destroy that? Maybe. We'll see. I'm not going to play the bombardment because I don't want them to kill it with Brontodon. Will do, Admiral. Sorry, I saw that one last time. I thought I responded. And thank you for the sub gifties. Our win condition is Sadness. If I Nova the Eldest Reborn, it will also Nova my Crucible, which I'd prefer to not have happen. Also, for reference, you might not see it. It's behind my chat over here. They have a Vivian Reed emblem currently, so their creatures are indestructible, which is why I'm not killing this Thrashing Brontodon. How many cards are there? 24 cards in our deck.
Wild animals I like. People balance comes.
Yep, Star's gonna kill a land and Vivian Reed. Deal. Sweet. So now I get to Star and I get to Haphazard Bombardment. And then I get to Settle the Wreckage them off of... I'm actually just... I'll take a draw. Sure, why not? I'm not making Dawn of Hope tokens, so I'm going to Star of Extinction next turn. So, let's Star of Extinction, kill the Detection Tower, doesn't really matter. This kills Vivian. And then I want to hold up Settle the Wreckage. So can I Haphazard and still hold up Settle? No, I'm one short of doing that. So I think I just pass. I think we just pass. I guess I can play this other Compass out. Would I recommend this as a paper deck? I mean, if you like watching your opponents be upset, this is probably a great paper deck. Oh, they're waiting till they hit duress is what they're doing. This is smart on their part. I like this. Oh gosh, I didn't even think about that. Haphazard in paper is probably miserable. Hey, SCTR. Rounded up to a nice even 100 sub gifties on the channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So the reason why I'm not hitting their black sources here, and maybe this is greedy, is because you'll notice, you might not be able to see it, their black sources already have bombardment counters on them. So that means this bombardment is actually going to be a 5x Stone Rain eventually. Yeah, I'm going to start pumping out Lifelinkers at this point. So bombardment's going to kill one of their lands at the end of every single turn. And I had a bombardment earlier that put counters on those black lands, which is why I haven't been killing their black lands so far. But that one doesn't have a counter on it, so let's kill that one. Start making a Dawn of Hope token. Yes, technically you could pick Carnage Chariot, that's true. Boop. Slow and steady. Rude. I very rarely use full control. Pretty rare that that's necessary. Alright, let's make some 1/1s here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and attack and gain some life and draw some cards here. So they get to block these, obviously, but I get to pay 8 and draw 4 cards, which hopefully finds me another bombardment. Oh, it found me a Crucible. That's really good. Oh, I messed up because I already played my land for the turn, right? That's kind of a mistake. Yeah, Fight with Fire could potentially be a win condition too. All right, I'm gonna decline this last one. So let's play another bombardment out here. So while the bombardment counters stacking don't really do anything, they are gonna kill 2 lands per turn, so it accelerates the rate at which that's gonna happen for us. I can't play the Crucible out this turn so that I won't be able to hold up Settle the Wreckage. Let's just pass. Boop. This last Overgrown Tomb's incredibly lucky, chat. Oh yeah, Reborn could get back brought to dawn. That's probably a reason to keep the Crucible in hand for now, until they decide what they're doing with this. Nah, I don't think so. I think it's fine. I'm not super worried about it. We're gonna start pumping out 1/1s here to start attacking. If I Nova Eldest, chat, it kills all of my stuff too. It's all artifacts and all enchantments. There we go. The Black Source couldn't be lucky for forever, chat. This has been a quality game of Magic. Just like beat the Vivian emblem. All right, you got a Vivian.
Beasts are much more reliable than humans.
All right, and I'm not activating it again here because I would like to,
Get that out of here.
I would like to hold up Settle the Wreckage. This deck is everything I hate to play against in Magic. We're a long way from the paper card play I originally said for. You're not wrong, Squishy. It is a wild timeline. Oh, what am I doing? I think it's Memorial to War, kill the Overgrown Tomb, and then it's probably... The bombardments can't kill the creatures, chat. Oh! If the bombardment can't kill the creatures, then, do I put a counter on the Vivian? If there's always a Carnage Tyrant, it gets to kill everything else, right? Thank you for the birthday biddies, Glutz. If I bombard the creature, the rest of it, the rest of the lands will die. That's really funny. All right, let's do that for sure. So this could potentially backfire on us here. Because in theory, the bombardments could pick the creature over and over and over again. So let's find out how lucky this Carnage Tyrant is, or how unlucky. I'm not sure how exactly that works. Congrats on everything. Seeing you at 3K feels good. Thank you, Dorky Dad Media. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thank you for the biddies. Well, that was just that was just like we drew it up, chat. Okay, just like we drew it up. This has been quite the treat. All right. Well, let's kick this one and point it at your dome, shall we? So now it's just like Dubs fight with fire kick to kill you. Man, nice Vivian emblem. I have 6 tokens. We're gonna kick the fight with fire next turn and then attack for 6. Wait, did the Carnage Tyrant not get highlighted? I have no idea, but that was just good clean. I thought Esper Amulet was the most miserable deck you could play in this standard format. This Esper Amulet ain't got nothing on this one. This is that was like a work of art. Yeah, props to our opponent for not conceding there. And welcome to everybody, by the way. Thanks everybody who's dropping in from the front page of Twitch. Welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. We're currently playing a game called Magic the Gathering. This is Magic the Gathering Arena. This is their new beta client that released in October of last year. I am a full-time streamer here on Twitch. We play a ton of Arena almost every single day. TV's very own. Thank you for the brand new Prime Support. Welcome. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting my content this month with that. This hand needs a second land, so we're going to go ahead and take a pretty easy mulligan here. This hand needs a third land, but we've got Treasure Map to scry for it, so very reasonable keep. And I get to scry the third land at the top of my deck. I do currently use a standing desk. So I have one of those desks that has motorized legs, so I split my time streaming sitting and standing, because I stream for 6, 7, 8 hours a day a lot of the time, so standing for that long makes my back unhappy. Blind Wind, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome. Green Red Wild Growth Walker, could be the Frenzy deck maybe? If they have an Explorer creature next turn, this thing getting outside of the range of Deafening Clarion quickly can be a problem for us. Because of Bombardment's wording, it's always going to destroy something if its destructible choice exists. Indestructible permanents can't be chosen for him. Well, that's really funny. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that more streamers don't use it. I guess, I don't know, how old is the average streamer though, right? Like at almost 30, I'm probably, a lot of people that stream full time are younger, right? And like aren't literally like ergonomic aware. Strickles, thanks for the 5-month resub. Thanks for shipping your Prime back this way again this month. 3.6K is a record here, which is awesome. How do you feel about the Arclight Phoenix deck in Modern? I have no idea if things are going to get banned in Modern. It's just impossible to predict. Cleansing Nova is exactly the card we want to draw next turn. Yeah, I feel like in another, like, let's say 5 to 10 years, there's going to be a lot more people streaming on Twitch with standing desks. All right, so we get 2 shots in an untapped land here. I get a Scry plus a draw step, and if we hit on either of those, we get to Cleansing Nova, clear this board. So I'm not scrying during my upkeep, because if I scry during my upkeep, I won't have enough lands to cast this. Bye, friends. That's true, too. There's a lot of games that are, like, FPS-based or, like, action games. It's probably more difficult to, like, maintain your whatnot, your competitiveness when you are playing sitting. The Immortal Sun. That's probably... Is this something I'm interested in drawing here? Yeah, it probably is. It probably is. All right, let's put Bombardment into play here off these treasures. And kill some of these lands. So their frenzies get much worse if they can't, if they don't have lands to cast their spells. Howdy, Stephen Douglas. All right, they hit the land off the top. Boop. So it depends on how good. That's a lot of frenzies. So do I want to use the Star of Extinction this turn? I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna activate the Arc and try and hit a land drop here. And then Treasure Map only costs me 1. Would really like to find another Bombardment. The fact that the Bombardments basically double up is so fantastic. Hopefully they play a 3-mana spell here, so Thrashing Brontodon isn't active. I'd prefer if they can't destroy any of my stuff with the Bronte. Yep. Hey, Ild, thanks for the biddies. I appreciate it. No, Arc is not legendary. It's just pretty uncommon that people play more than one, because usually they can't afford the colorless sources. What standing dust do I use? A very cheap one that I'm going to be replacing when I move. So, if you're looking for standing dusts, I'd recommend avoiding the brand Uplift. They're cheap for a reason. All right, so we're looking to scry into another Haphazard Bombardment. I've had this one for less than a year, April, and the electronics in it are all messed up. It like stops going up and down half the time when I raise it. I have to like press it a second and third time. And their customer support was less than great. Yeah, Updusk is one of the brands I need to try. I've heard good things about them. I need to do some research. Second Bombardment. All right, here's the real question. Do I Bombardment right now, or do I wait for them to put another land into play? I think do I go now? I feel like I should wait, right? Like they're pretty, that it does let them pop. That's true. They can't pop another frenzy if I go now. Let's draw a card and see what happens. Like there's 2 more bombardments in my deck, right? And I have Dawn of Hope in play already. Let's go ahead and do this. I think this is right. Putting them down to 2 lands this turn means that their frenzies stay on the table, which means they're basically locked out. Chat demands land destruction. Yep. I mean, to set a bar that's low, this deck's definitely better than Modern Ponza. Modern Ponza's a real terrible deck. How much longer do we have this deck? This is gonna be the last match with this one. And we're gonna shift gears a little bit. 4K viewer hype, Indicium, thanks for the biddies, I appreciate it. Play some modern? No, we're playing standard on arena all day today. It would be a criminal waste of front page time to put Magic Online on stream. Magic players barely want to watch Magic Online. Fight with Fire seems reasonable. Invoke the Divine probably isn't terrible because, like, while we were able to keep them off their frenzies that game, we're probably not going to be able to keep them off their frenzies every game. Let's run this back. We'll do Larynx. Thanks for the support. How do you win with this deck? Usually you win by your opponents conceding, but if they don't concede, we have Dawn of Hope to make 1/1s with. Won't they sideboard them out? I guess there's a chance that they do that. I don't know for sure. Maybe the Sealaways are better. I don't know exactly what we're doing. We haven't played this matchup before. We win by Salt and Sodium. Yep. The Blur with the 11-month resub. Thank you very much and welcome back. Marty Punker doling out the sub gift Rudies. Thank you very much for your incredible generosity last year and this year, Marty. Thanks everyone in the Hooglandia community. Y'all are great. All the new subs, enjoy your emotes. Head of God with the brand new 3-month sub. Welcome, welcome. Turn 1 Landmore Elf on the play is really good for them. Basically like they played 2 lands out. Lets them get a little bit accelerated here. Crushing Canopy. It's a pretty good one. Destroy target artifact. Wait, is that only enchantment? Destroy target enchantment. So it does not destroy artifacts. I think I'm actually gonna seal away the Landmore Elf here. Just like slow them down. Because if they want to spend Crushing Canopy getting back a Landmore Elf, I'm fine with that. Two-thirds of a sword is a knife, right? What's going on, Mr. Photon? Thanks for the 8 months. Welcome back. I'm going to play the Compass out this turn, so this way if I miss my land drop next turn, or if I'm going to, I can activate it and go get a land. If you think this deck is sweet and you want to see more of it, this is going to be my last match with it today before we shift to the next deck that we're playing. I change decks every hour and a half to 2 hours on this stream. You can find this deck on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/DeFogle. We played it Saturday night as well. Thanks for the Prime Cube, April. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. Jimmy, the kudos. Thanks for all the great content. Thanks for the 3 months. Welcome back. My work has Twitch blocked, so I can't see you, but chat works. Yeah, it's weird that they don't have like a dump file for MTGO, because like tons of bots exist for Magic Online, right? Our poker hand is pretty reasonable. Map's full. Have we run out of basics? There are games where there aren't any basics left in your deck for sure, but by the time those situations come up, usually you don't need to be searching for more lands. And like your Thaumatic Compass flips long before you run out of basics. This got bumped up that fast again. Also, for people who are familiar with my stream and my setup, so like a lot of the decks we play are viewer-submitted deck lists on this channel. The standard viewer-submitted deck lists are coming up much faster now that I'm doing Magic Arena, you know, pseudo full-timer, like here 20, 25 hours a week on Magic Arena. And Magic Arena, the pace of gameplay is really fast, so I'm churning through that list quickly. So if you're putting decks into my standard queue, even for the minimum $10 price, the turnaround is like 2 weeks or less now. Because I'm able to play so many of them so quickly. Thanks, Tech Zombie. So we are one land away from Star of Extinctioning, which is great. Hey, Tobto, thanks for doling out the sub gifties. Welcome, welcome. Play another treasure map here so I can scry with the map and activate a compass this turn, which sounds great. Yeah, definitely, Marty. Feel free to ship me a list when you have it, when you get it. Am I dead this turn? Shh. Maybe they'll play around Settle the Wreckage. Maybe they'll play around Settle the Wreckage. I'm looking them right, and I'm staring them right in the face. Staring them right in the face. Oh, they called the bluff. Ranting Bob with the 5 sub gifties. Thank you very much and welcome. The sub animation, it just keeps going and going and going. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. I don't think I want to change anything. I actually boarded the Settles out, which is funny. There's so many shovels. There's so many shovels. Yeah, this is fine. It needs a 3rd land, but if we hit the 3rd land, the Thaumatic Compass is going to propel us into every land drop after that. And we get to go Plains Fountain of Renewal. This card is like subtly one of the better cards in the decks we've had it in, because a lot of these control decks generate so much card advantage that they don't mind playing one card early to later cash it back in. Perfect. Who's making all these shovels? A variety of people. Drafted folks. That's really gross. That one lets them get out ahead of what we're doing in a big way. Lets them play an extra land every turn. Think I'm just leaving this for now and activating my compass. It's possible I should have run the seal away on the Land War Elves play again, but like with the Wayward Swordtooth, they're ramping a ton anyways. This does make it easier for them to play like Vivian this turn though. Yeah, I'll be interested to see at the end of the day how many of the people, like obviously we get a boost from people checking us out on the front page, but I'll be interested to see if any of it turns into like any actual like meaningful followers, right? If it's just a one-time bump, it's kind of fun to have a higher total when people ask what's your max viewer count. We can say, hey, we broke 4,400 people today, which is awesome. Thanks everyone for dropping in. So they are 2 cards away from hitting the City's Blessing to enable this Wayward Swordtooth. I've got the Seal away to wrap up the Rekindling Phoenix since I wasn't super aggressive with it, which is nice. They are 1 permanent away from attacking with this Wayward Swordtooth. I assume they're going to keep that one there because that one's really good. Yep, Treasure Map's going to go ahead and give them the City's Blessing, so they're going to attack for 10 here. We're going to take 6. Yeah, Cleansing Nova would be an ideal draw for sure. I think even if we don't hit the Nova, I'm going to Clarion here. Do I pay 2? Yeah, I'm actually going to pay 2 here and just try and draw to it. Yeah, the opponent's deck is really sweet. It's red-green, excuse me, Dino Frenzy we've called it on stream in the past. We've played it a number of times before. You can find that on my YouTube channel on my website. So we're going down to 9 here. I think I'm gonna take another extra draw here because Seal Away would be good as well. There's the Cleansing Nova. Cleansing Nova doesn't really help us though. Like, I guess Cleansing Nova is gonna clear this. And I'm not dead on board. We're going to 1. And then next turn, I can Star of Extinction plus flip this and keep this here. The OP has the City's Blessing. So there's Sword Tooth deck. We are dead to Banefire, but there's no point in talking about Banefire because I don't have any lines that can play around it. I actually would argue that best of one does the inverse of making more cards / decks viable. There's a lot of decks that are completely unplayable in best of one that are otherwise very viable and reasonable in best of three Magic. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with best of one. Like, if you enjoy best of one, you know, play Magic how you enjoy. But I personally don't enjoy playing best of one, which is why I don't play the current ranked ladder. Do I just pay? Do I pay 2 here? Because I can just Cleansing Nova, right? Killing a land doesn't really do much. Though the Phoenix is going to come back with haste, but my Thaumatic Compass is going to flip over here. So I'm not dead to the Phoenix because I have Thaumatic Compass. What are some examples of decks that are viable in best of 3 but not viable in best of 1? Most control decks and interactive decks. Decks that have a lot of bad matchups game 1 that pivot post sideboard are the types of decks that are going to be much, much worse. Yeah, well played, opponents. They had the way to get that back. The resistant, the resistant to sweepers creatures is bad. If you're looking for something really sweet, don't accuse my opponents of stream sniping. That's just not necessary. Just because my opponent played well doesn't mean they were sniping. If you're watching someone and they accuse someone of sniping every time their opponent makes a good play, that person's probably not someone you really want to be watching. Probably a little bit too much sodium in their diet. Occasionally stream sniping happens, but it happens a lot less than I think most people think. We played this deck a bunch. It seems like it has a lot of neat play to it against a lot of different decks. People who are interested in playing best of one Magic, this deck's probably okay for best of one Magic because it plays so many sweeper effects. Your matches against the aggressive decks are pretty reasonable. After playing, I think there's a chance that Fountain of Renewal could potentially be a 4 of in this deck, because while the sweepers help you stabilize against the creatures, a card like Fountain of Renewal gaining us a little bit of life every turn is a card that can really help us stabilize against their reach, like lightning strikes and shocks and stuff like that. All right, what are we doing next? We change decks about every